Hayley Williams has released a new song. It's called Glum. It came out a couple weeks ago, actually. And it's off a new album she released. It's a solo album. For those that aren't familiar, she's a singer from Paramore. She's basically Paramore. She got a solo album called Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party. And this is the first single off of it. And I got to say, I give it a 8 out of 10. There's some things I don't like about it, but it's all in all a really good song. But there is something in it that goes beyond just pop culture and music. And that is, the album's called Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party. In this song, the chorus line that she writes is, "Do you ever feel so alone that you could implode and no one would know?" And it got me thinking about the lyrics and how millennials feel. So there's a couple questions here. Is this her, as a singer of Paramore, basically saying, like, is this normal? Does everyone feel this way? And I think there's something wrong with millennials, especially, and I'm a fan of Paramore. I'm not trying to say this disrespectfully to Hayley or anybody else, but being a 30, I don't know if she's 37 or 36, but there's a line in the song saying she's like 37. No family, no kids, and saying you're all alone, and that if you imploded, no one would know. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, not me. Like, when I get sick, everybody knows. And I'm not just saying because I have a show, but I'm saying, like, my family and my friends all know when I'm unwell. And if I didn't wake up one day, if I had like an implosion, people are knocking on my door and calling me, asking me what's going on. So it got me thinking about, this song, which is really great musically. And they made some style choices I disagree with on it, but otherwise I think it's really good. And I'm thinking, like, who is this relating to? Are there seriously a ton of millennials that are familyless, single? And the answer is yes. Let's react to this song and play it for you guys. And I want to stress this. I am not all about doing music video reactions like most of these channels do, like listening to the Bee Gees for the first time. No, this is cultural. So I'm not going to play the song in its entirety. I'm going to play key portions of it to talk about the lyrics. And they'll probably try and come at me, I guess, like copyright. But let's roll and comment. Oh, I got to unmute it. Here we go. I've never felt so glum. Think I'm made up of moonlight. Don't reach quite as far, but I still show up. Stick around for someone. So I'm not going to pretend to know anything about this woman. Honestly, I only know like surface level stuff about pop punk bands. I could tell you a little bit of like they had like a weird falling out in the 2000s or something. I can tell you Fall Out Boy went on a hiatus, but I don't want to pretend like I know who this lady is or anything like that. But I'm just going to say this. I heard that the album dropped, and of course, being, a pop punk guy from the 2000s and the early 90s and stuff, I was interested in checking it out. In the past couple of weeks, the song's got 972,000 views, which I think could have done better. It's not that big. It's like, but whatever. But the album she released is called Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party. And I was thinking about that, and so I'm going to make a bunch of assumptions. Let me just say this. Based on that first line, "In the wake of your sunshine, I've never felt so glum." That's also the ending line of the song. Instantly, I just thought of like, Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party. Was she like invited to someone's bachelorette party where a friend of hers was getting married and starting a family? And it was a strike to her ego about, she says in the song, like, I'm the biggest star here. And is she now realizing that work doesn't matter and family is the only thing that ever did, and she doesn't have one? I'm going to pause. I don't know if she has a family. Like, my assumption and understanding is that from what she's saying, she is single and childless. I could be wrong. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to start beef with a band I don't know. Stick around till dawn. I do you ever feel so alone that you could implode? No one would know. I'm not here to play the song for you to listen to, so if you want to listen to the song, please go pull it up. I will say now, like, in music composition-wise, who am I to judge? Paramore, multi-platinum. She opened for Taylor Swift and all that stuff. Awesome. I think the song is it's one of the best songs that they've put out in years. To be fair, I don't really follow most of the music they put out, just like the singles. Amazing, amazing melody, really great chorus. But I'm here to talk about the culture of it, right? She says, "Do you ever feel so alone that you could implode and no one would know?" And I'm like, who relates to that? It's an honest question. I'm not saying no one does. It's not a rhetorical question. Like it's not meant to be rhetorical and like sarcastic or whatever. I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm saying, do millennials really experience this to such a degree that this is something that would be relatable to them as a product? Let me play a little bit more. I'm probably getting the lyrics a little bit wrong, but she says something like, "You look around, but nobody's home. And you want to go back to where you were from." Let me just. I can only speak for myself. I'm not, this person, and the reason I'm doing this, I'm curious for your comments about how you feel about this. I never feel so alone that I could implode. Like that doesn't exist to me. It never did. Even in my 20s when I was like traveling the world, there were people that I worked with. And so it was never really something where I'm like in my apartment, I had roommates. And then I started a company and I had friends that I worked with. And now I'm married with a kid. I don't relate to that at all. And I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. And I'm only speaking about my personal experience. My question for you guys to comment on is that normal for millennials? Like, is there a large amount of millennials who are in their late 30s now, who don't have families, who are not married, and relate to this, saying like, yeah, like I wake up and there's, I'm alone. I want to just go back, home. You want this nostalgia, that feeling. I don't want to go home. I'm from the south side of Chicago. Like, I have friends there. I have great memories, but ain't no way I'm ever going back. There's a reason why I left. I think about when I was younger and the things that I went through, and I'm actually fairly happy with everything I did, good, bad, or otherwise. I think I was brought to a good place. And so when I hear a song like this, and it's called Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party, it's like, are there millennials who have made it their 30s with no families, no marriage, no kids, and like it strikes at the core of their being that they're like, holy crap, I'm wasting my life? I'm not saying that's how she feels. That's the message conveyed. When you release an album called Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party, and the first line of your song is In the Wake of Your Sunshine, all I'm saying is, in the wake of your sunshine, I've never felt so glum. I'm like, are you basically saying you went to a wedding and it depressed you because you don't have what everyone else has? Why? Again, not about her personally. Again, maybe she's just writing a song. Do you guys know the song The Freshman by the Verve Pipe? Or Gone Away by The Offspring? Is it 90s things, right? Apparently, they're fake stories. Like the dude from the Verve Pipe never actually had a friend whose girlfriend committed suicide. He was just like, what if? And in The Offspring, when Dexter says, and it feels like heaven so far away, and like leaving flowers on your grave, wasn't even about someone he knew who died. He just like read a story and said, let's write a song about this. And I get it. Like I write songs, they're not really about me or my experiences. So I guess the question is this a, hey, millennials are angsty and lonely, we can write a song that will speak to them, and I want to tell this story? Or is this Hayley Williams like personal, yeah, this is where I am right now as a millennial after all the fame and all the success? There's nothing there. I was watching a video. I don't know if you guys know who Mikey Taylor is. Famous pro skateboarder, legend. Shout out Mikey Taylor. He's now a finance guy and a real estate guy, and he's a millennial, and he's a Republican council member. I think he's mayor pro tem in like Thousand Oaks, California. Yo, shout out, big fan. I wish he skated more, Mikey. He posts in golf videos, but I'm a big fan because he does like financial literacy podcast stuff, and he's very successful. And he posted a video recently where he was like hanging out with his kids, and he was like, he said something like, when you finally realize it's all about spending time with family, and he's right. Me, I just had my first kid, but I've had friends and family for a while. We had kids late. Hey, look, I'm older than Hayley Williams is, and I just had my first kid. So maybe, I don't know if she has, I don't think she has kids. I don't know. Granted, I don't know a lot about celebrity culture or anything like that. Like, I don't track individuals or anything. Couldn't tell you where Patrick Stump is at. Or I think Katy Perry was married to Russell Brand at some point or something. It's political, so I know a little bit about it. But yeah, I got to tell you, man, you get older, the only thing that matters is you're spending time with your family, and you start to think more about the political world. And when you're younger and when you're single and traveling the world, you care about the shape of it because it'll affect your family. But then you have a family and you're concerned about it because you've got kids who are going to grow up. And then you get older and you say, I just want to make sure my family is doing all right. There's not much more to react to for this song. I'll play a little bit more. The next verse is all right.
Spaced out at a stoplight.
So I want to say this, like musically, the chipmunk voice, not a fan. Not a fan. The next line is like, yeah, here.
Laying on their horn. 'Cause it's in tune with this song. Wanna put it in park. Listen all day long.
I think
Man, roll down your window.
I like the lyrics. They feel a bit, I don't know. Now she's just saying like I'm sitting there spaced out. I'm like, man, I don't have any time to space out. Yo, we're supposed to go like NatCon today or whatever. I'm so busy. It's kind of wild. Like my experience is complete inverse of the narrative of this song.
Lights already yellow. I wonder, do you ever feel so alone that you could implode?
Nope.
No one would know.
I don't.
And when you look around and nobody's home, that you wanna go back to wherever we're from.
Man, I feel like millennials don't grow up. And if this song really, I'll say it like this, because I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything to this lady. And I say this because I've had a lot of experiences in my life where I've made fun of people on the internet. Like I'd watch a video and then I meet them and they're really nice to me. So I'm like, if we don't got beef, we don't got beef, right? If you want to smack talk me, I'll criticize you back. But yo, if this song is serious and that's actually how she feels, I can only say, like, with all due respect, it's time to grow up. It's time to figure things out. And I don't know her personal details. Again, maybe she's married or whatever. I don't know. But if the idea really is that this is just something to market to millennials to make them, because they feel this and they relate to it, then I'm just going to say this, millennials, y'all are cooked. Yo, man, it's time to grow up. It is. Now, I can say for me, late to the game, because I'm a millennial too, and we all have these faults. So let me say from experience, as someone who just had a kid and is married, it's time to grow up. It's time to get in gear and start working on your life. You can't just be like, no, I want to go home and I want to go back. No, we're not going back. Okay? Every path in your life, every step you took is a stepping stone to the next thing. So we're not going back. No, we're going forward. I can't stand this nostalgia, and these people are like, I wish things were the way they were before. And I'm like, no, I get that to a certain degree. We want to keep the good things, get rid of the bad. I'm saying in our personal lives as millennials, we are a failed and lost generation. And Gen Z is not faring much better. Millennials don't own property, don't have corporate equities. Gen Z is worse off, but they're still some of them teenagers, not even adults yet. Don't have kids. Fertility is in the gutter. I think it's 0.8. Now, when they track the total fertility rate across the board, they're including all people of, includes older millennials and younger Gen X. People who've already had kids. When you look at just millennials and younger, it skews way down. So I'm just like, it's time to get over this. No, don't just sit there and think like you're so alone you could implode and no one would know. Figure it out. It's not something we should be relating to. And if I'm not trying to blame anybody, if that's your circumstance, right? I'm not trying to blame Hayley or the song. I think the song's fantastic, and the message is sad. But yo, when I hear she has a line in it, let me jump forward. Here we go. Wait. Here we go.
On my way to 37 years, I do not know if I'll ever know what in the living fuck I'm doing here. Does anyone know if this is normal?
It's not. It never was. Throughout history, it's not normal. Now, it may be becoming normal in that millennials are now experiencing this to a great degree. Basically saying, I'm about to turn 37. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know if I'll ever understand. And I'm sitting here being like, I could be wrong. I don't know everything. But I have a pretty good idea, at least, of what I've decided my life is supposed to be and why I'm here and what I'm doing and what my goals are and the vision of the future and what the universe is. And it is crazy to me that I'm like sitting here thinking like, I hope this is not real. I hope she didn't write these literally about herself. Again, I want to stress, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm saying I don't want to believe that millennials are entering middle age not understanding what their purpose is, or at least assigning it to themselves. And so, I look at this story and I'm just like, I don't like the message, man. And it's not like I'm saying don't have that feeling. It's not like I'm saying you shouldn't feel this way or you shouldn't commit it. I'm saying I don't like that there are people who feel this way. Let me just tell you, I've got a mission. I understand. I have a worldview. I don't understand how there are nihilistic individuals in my generation to such a great degree. I'm not saying she's nihilistic. I'm saying they exist. Why are we here? I'll tell you what I think. The first is the obvious: be fruitful and multiply. And you might think, but to what end? The expansion of humanity and life, the organization of free energy in the universe, to resist entropy despite the fact that entropy is greater, to build, create, and experience, and to, you know what life does? Life organizes free energy into complex systems, exponentially increasing. And that's rather simplistic, and it's not very emotional. It's kind of cold logic. But there's something else there. To live and to experience, to have a family, to have joy, and to grant this to a new generation. There are so many reasons to live, and there's so many reasons why we are here. It's hard to pick just one. So to say that you don't even know why, I'm like, I hope millennials don't really feel that way in large numbers. And if this truly is the feeling of Hayley Williams, I hope it's isolated to her. I'm not wishing pain on anybody. It sounds kind of like a dick. I'm saying I hope it's not widespread. Because let me put it like this. The people that I know of faith, they know why they're here. They have divine mandate. And it could be as simple as be fruitful and multiply, but it's also to carry the word of the Lord and whatever. Maybe you're Jewish, maybe you're Muslim, maybe you're Buddhist, whatever. People of faith and religion tend to feel purpose. Millennials who are atheists, I don't know what a religion is, tend to be nihilistic and lack purpose. And they say, what am I even doing here? That's kind of wild to me. I don't have that, I don't know if you do. Maybe you do. Comment, let me know how you feel. But I'm going to say this. You have a purpose. And everyone's purpose is different. But we are all here because we do at least the bare minimum of organizing free energy into a complex system. That is our existence, our bodies. But then we create abstract thoughts. We stack blocks upon the shoulders of giants. We build pyramids, figuratively and literally. So for me, what can I say? I'm here to build. I'm here to resist the chaos. This is what life is. It is negative entropy. And that's the simplistic. You can then believe, if you so choose, there is divine mandate. Some do, some don't. But what I can say is, I look at what humanity is and where humanity could go. I don't have all the answers to the universe, but I can certainly say this. We must expand, develop, and learn. And so my view is, what can we do to improve humanity, make things better, expand, and be better life? So there's a purpose there. Now, some might say, like, to what end? There is no end. That's just it. They say, what's the point? You don't understand. The point is obvious. Have kids. What's the point? Because then you're helping, you're creating a future. It feels good. There's 1,000,001 points to having a kid and getting married. And they say, yeah, but what then? What do you mean, what then? Then they do the same thing. Yes, but what's the end? There isn't one, and there never was. There are these people who say the ends justify the means. No. The ends do not justify the means because you never meet the ends. There is no end. There is no point in your life where you say, I've done it. There is no point where you build a company, you make $1 billion, whatever it might be, and you say, I've done it. Every day we wake up and we do things because we have to do them now. So the point, let me tell you the point. What's the point of this video? To express my feelings, to get it off my chest, to build this channel out, to share ideas and help other people. Yes, but why? Why would you even do it? I don't know. I don't know what comes next. The point is now. Now I can plan ahead for the future. And I can say, after this, there will come tomorrow. And I think about what tomorrow brings. So the point for this, building the channel, is that tomorrow I have more followers. There are more people who follow this channel who have more ideas. Okay, then what? Then I will be able to guide them in a positive direction that will improve their lives. Then what? They will experience joy. Okay, but why? I want them to. But then what? After that, they will have families. But then what? You see, the end will never come. There is no end. So when people say, what's the point? What am I doing here? You're overthinking it. When you wake up and say, why did I even wake up today? To get food? To look at the sun? To look at the trees? For what reason? Just to do that. The point is always simple. So anyway, I love this song. It's fantastic. It just gets me scared about the millennial generation. What I'll say to all of you is that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with but a single step. It's a great saying, isn't it? And so when you're sitting here in your mid-30s, my advice to somebody who feels this way, because I'll say it again, I don't know how she actually feels or what her life. I mean, look, let's be honest. She's a famous celebrity with millions of followers. She's probably super wealthy. She's got tons of friends. They helped make this music video. She released an album, fans. I kind of don't think she's lacking purpose or whatever. That's why I kind of feel like maybe it's just a song, you know? The message there was just to like be nostalgic and reach millennials. So I'll say this to anybody feeling that way. It is simple. Today when you wake up, think about where you will be tomorrow and what is the point of what you do today. Do 10 push-ups. What's the point? Because 10 push-ups equals 10 push-ups tomorrow equals a stronger arms. What's the point? Then you can lift a heavier rock. What's the point? One day you might encounter a person who's trapped under a rock. That's just it. The point is that today, the possibility is tomorrow. Do what you can today so that tomorrow you can do more. It's really that simple. I encourage you to have families and spend time with your families. I know most of you probably have families relative, me, you're saying, I just had a kid. I'm old. I'm going to be 40 in a few months and I just had my first kid. I made those mistakes, spent too much time working. Not the only person who's ever done that. But I knew why I was here. And so my problem was never that I didn't have purpose and was listless. My problem was that I worked too much. For those that are sitting around doing nothing, seize the day. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for following me on this channel. Subscribe, join our Discord community at timcast.com. I'm not going to sit there and play the whole song because I'm not here to play a song and rock out to it like those channels do. I actually just wanted to comment on the narrative of what millennials are. It is what it is. Shout out to Hayley Williams. This song is one of the best songs you've ever put out. I'm not even kidding. I absolutely love this song. The message and the feeling and everything of it, it nails it, 10 out of 10. The chorus, the melody, absolutely amazing. I just don't like the chipmunk voice. I don't understand the chipmunk thing. So that's why, but I think this is one of the best songs she's put in a long time. And I think she's got some duds. I'm a fan of Paramore. I think largely she's written some really great songs, but shout out, great song. Really do love it. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and we'll see y'all in the next bit.